Presented by EA Sports. And we are underway from NRG Stadium in Houston. Oh, a good return up past the 30. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. Opening play, and Stroud will throw it. He'll get this into the hands of Nico Collins. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. A good safe pass there right off the bat.
That's almost a rhythm play. That's what we like to call it. Get them into rhythm early, something safe, something they're confident about, something they feel good. And once that's completed, then you just keep elevates.
Play. Open man is Jordan, the tight end. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Stroud looking to throw. Man open, that's complete to Dalton Schultz. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46.
The completion was given up, but that's why you play zone defense, so that you can have people around the ball when it's caught, and you don't give up much run after the catch.
This 2nd and 4. Stroud to throw it. That's caught again by Schultz. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. That's good for a first down, his second catch of the opening drive. Heck of a start for him here, Charles, on this opening drive, and they're doing it all through the air. That's 4 snaps and 4 passes so far.
I do think that there's an argument, Brandon, to maybe mix in a running play or two, but the way that these offenses are constructed, you can get that done with swing passes and checkdowns. The way they're throwing it, I'd keep pressing it downfield.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his 3rd completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
4 catches now on this drive alone. They can't stop him. It's another first down. Well, they're not hiding who their central focus is on offense. Charles, he already now has 4 receptions here on this opening drive.
And I know people who are watching the game are thinking, did they forget about him in the defensive game plan? But it's actually been the opposite. They're giving him a lot of attention, but he's been very creative and savvy in his route running and finding seams and openings in order to create these completions.
So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll make it 2nd down. And so far, a very nice, methodical opening drive.
This has the feel of a scripted drive that they rehearsed perfectly all week long, and now they're executing it on game day.
Script looks good so far. On the ground, this is Joe Mixon. An unfortunate time for the penalty there. That cancels out a positive play from this offense.
Well, not to sound too trite or too accepting, but you and I both know it happens. You got to accept it and move on. Yardage, you got to get back. Focus on the next play. Move on.
Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
I think that run gives us evidence that the defense is getting a little bit tired out there. They've been out in the field for a long time, and that last run, they just cut right through them.
Play number 9 set to come here on the drive on 3rd and 2. And movement here by one of the Texans up front. In comes the flag. And a manageable 3rd down becomes a lot less manageable. 3rd and 7 after the false start. That is caught. And the Texans are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there, and now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They've got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
Throwing now is Stroud. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Anytime they think they've got him open beyond the markers, you know they're going to throw it his way. And that's not going to change even after that incompletion was forced.
Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. And Stroud now to throw. This is caught. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
And let's face it, you can put any Halloween costume on him. You're not going to be able to disguise him because for a tight end of his size, difficult to sneak him anywhere, but that's what they tried to do. Lined up on his right, tried to work his way back to his left, but just a minimal gain as the defense was able to react quickly.
The kick by Fairbairn is good, and it's now 3-0 Texans. So 3 points on the board, as easy a field goal as you're going to get, but I can see you shaking your head.
I love that peripheral vision of yours, partner, because to me, if it's the 4th quarter and you're up 6, I get it. But now, even if you run and don't get in, you're still setting them up to go a long field, 98, 99-yard drive. How do you look at your defense and not give them that opportunity?
The first carry now for Tony Pollard. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. It was Danielle Hunter to make the play in the backfield.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
2nd and 13. He'll get this into the hands of Van Jefferson. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And now it's 3rd and 3.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the gun on 3rd down. Moore. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a Titans first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. When you give up points on the opening drive, in this case a field goal, you'd hate to go 3 and out. They avoid that.
They do, and it's also walking that fine line mentally, too, as a coach, isn't it? Because you want to emphasize to your team exactly what you said. All right, we gave up a field goal. Let's go back and at least equal that, guys. But if we don't, you don't want them to feel like it's the end of the world either. Nice that they were able to pick up the first down there, help them relax a little bit. We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
2nd and 10. Off the bootleg. Ward. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
They'll look to throw again. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Pollard will take it up the gut. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
From the 33, here's 2nd and 5. Looking to throw. Moore. Got his man, Okonkwo. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans 16. 17 yards on that play for the Titans.
He's certainly done a nice job spreading the field on this drive, and here he finds his big tight end for good yardage. And that's what you have to do. Keep defenses guessing about where you're going to go with the football.
They'll look to throw now on first down. Down inside the 10. And down to the 7-yard line. That was the 9th play of the drive, and they pick up 9 yards with it. Here's 2nd and 1 now from the 7. Off the bootleg. Ward. Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. Josh Wiley. A 7-yard touchdown grab. And the Titans are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead. Those are the drives that prove a lot. You got a rookie quarterback, Charles. You're on the road, takes him down, throws the touchdown pass.
And in a game like this, with, as you described, a rookie quarterback, the team usually says, okay, we got to take care of this guy. We got to protect him. But when he goes out and plays like this on the first drive on the road, he doesn't have to say, I'm here to be your leader. They just need to follow him.
Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And a good return, able to get out across the 35 to the 36. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. Stroud working out of the gun. And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's 2nd down.
Well, anytime he reads man coverage, I don't think it's going to be the only time he'll try and hit that route to the outside in this game. He'll test the perimeter, but that time, they were up to the challenge.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. A shotgun snap to Stroud. A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
A short one going to be taken in here by Schultz. 2 yards on the pickup there. And that's going to make it 4th down.
Excellent job there defensively. Gave up the underneath to the tight end on 3rd down, and they made sure that they did their job. Got him on the ground and prevented him picking up a first down.
Here's Tommy Townsend on to punt. And this will be taken at the 13. 43 yards on the punt, return of 4, and it'll be Titan football. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is
to the right side and intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it, and he'll bring this one back to the 29. They had to settle for 3 last drive, hoping this second go-around ends in 6. In good position, 1st and 10. This is caught, and they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him, and he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
Mixon is into the end zone. Touchdown, Houston. No success on first down. He couldn't get any yardage. They give it to him again, and he finds the end zone.
Sometimes it just has to be persistence, doesn't it? And you know who else helps with that? Offensive line. After a team's been stuffed, the last thing they want to do is go to a different play call. They want to come back and do it again and show that they can dominate the line of scrimmage.
Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Titans offense set to begin the drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back, but make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
10-7 our score after one right here on EA Sports. Second quarter now, Titans in possession of the football as they are looking at a 2nd down and 6 coming up. Operating from the gun, Ward. And that one incomplete, but now a penalty flag coming in late. That might be PI. After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. Off the bootleg, Ward. He's going to get this complete here to Lockett. Touchdown, Titans. Tyler Lockett, 61 yards. And the Titans have retaken the lead.
So on this drive, the rookie leads him into the end zone, Charles, and that helps cancel out the points that were created on the previous drive when he threw the interception.
Yeah, let's give some credit to this rookie, because instead of hanging his head after his mistake leads to a touchdown, he comes back out and he's firing and made up for it right there. A well-executed series that helps reestablish some confidence in him to run this offense.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I have a feeling they'll stay committed to running the football, especially on the early downs. They just haven't had a whole lot of success just yet.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud.
He's got Higgins over the middle. And they're able to get this one across the 35. Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a 1st down.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there, because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a 1st down.
So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38.
Here's Stroud.
He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
Stroud.
Here's Higgins out on the right side. 3rd catch of this first half for him, and this one is a 1st down.
And the throw and the catch were just fine, but against zone coverage, when you run a drag route, what you're hoping for is he makes the catch and makes someone miss, and they don't there. Very difficult route to run when everyone has their eyes back towards the quarterback and they're able to see the route develop.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw.
Over the middle, he gets it to Collins.
And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line, tackled there. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another 1st.
And maybe that touchdown on the previous drive has re-energized this offense a little bit. They've been kind of sluggish until then, but they're showing signs of life here, and they get good yardage that time and a 1st down.
Now Stroud. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Higgins. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. A ball on the 32. It's 2nd and 2. Now they'll go play action here with Stroud. He'll drop this one down to Mixon. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans' 20-yard line. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
One of my old teammates called me the other day when he was watching the game. He's like, man, trying to watch an NFL game and trying to account for their passing game, that's difficult. And just when you think you get everything covered, here comes a back out of the backfield. And in this case, he picks up a first down.
This one left side caught by Collins.
And they'll get this down to the 10. Same exact result as last play, a pickup of 11.
Just picking up yardage in bunches here these last few plays. They have moved right down the field, and just like that, they're going to be set up with a 1st and goal.
They'll give it to Mixon. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play that time, and it sets up 2nd and goal.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Another shot from the 9 on 2nd and goal. Operating from the gun, Stroud.
Throw right side, taken in by Collins. And he'll get positive yardage there as he'll be touched down. A big play forthcoming. Here's 3rd and goal. Stroud out of the gun here.
And he's got it. Touchdown, Texans. Christian Kirk from 4 yards out.
And the Texans have yet again retaken the lead. Well executed there offensively. Defense looked a little confused, but he found his receiver, and that one good for 6 points.
And the payoff we just saw there tells us how many times they ran this play in practice over the past few weeks, because they executed that flawlessly right here on game day when the situation arose.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go.
As this offense comes back out here, Charles, they're trailing in this ball game. And they've been on the sideline for a while. They did score their last time out, but they just had to watch that long, sustained drive, so we'll see if they can shake the rust off.
Yeah, and that's always a question that you have when you have to come off the bench after having sat there for a long time. Are you ready to go? Are you loosened up? But even more so, are you mentally alert and ready to put your best product out there?
Ward now, off play action.
And he's got this to Jefferson.
And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. It'll go as an impressive 31-yard gain.
There's the arm strength that we saw in college and during the scouting process. And really, it's not just the arm strength there, but the placement as well. To me, that was an excellent combination of arm talent and accuracy.
And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
And I think they'd be well served to take that type of a physical approach against him the rest of the game. He's had his way so far, but on that last one, that worked quite well for the defense.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Operating from the gun. Ward, complete. Jefferson the target. And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 23. The Titans get 14 yards there and move the chains as well.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
Will Anderson gets to him for the tackle.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Back to throw.
Ward. A short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
They'll wind up getting just a yard. And it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here. 3rd and 14.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
As a coaching staff, you can call just about whatever you want because you understand you have guys who reliably take away those massive shots downfield. You're not as worried about giving up the big one.
Field goal unit and Joey Sly now.
From the right hash, this from 44 yards out.
Sly able to put this one through.
And that will tie things at 17 all. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
17-17 the score. All even to this point as the kick's away.
And all in all, a pretty solid return. Nearly got it to the 35. They'll mark him down officially at the 34.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And they'll be looking to build off of a nice drive last time, a drive that really relied on the quarterback.
Making good decisions, distributing the ball well, distributing it accurately, keeping it away from danger. A really nicely run drive.
But now the defense, what adjustments do they need to make in the passing game?
Pass rush, pass rush, pass rush. Whether it's the guys up front or maybe you bring additional guys, but you've got to disrupt the timing of them throwing the football.
We'll see if they can disrupt it here. Mixon with a 1st down carry. And a pretty big hole as he's down to about the 40. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
So if you've been playing defense in this one, there's a little bit of the good and some bad because they did give up the touchdown run to him earlier but shut him down otherwise.
Outside of that, you're exactly right. I would say they've contained him very well. Stroud off the play fake. He throws it on the move, but can't connect as that falls incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way, a dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well.
They give to Mixon to try to pick it up. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
Well, partner, what do you think? Might have been 4-down territory if they didn't pick it up, but...
Yeah, it's a moot point now. I was curious, so if they didn't get it there, would they have gone for it? I guess we'll never know.
Yeah, we didn't have to make that call, but I have a feeling both of us would have said, go for it.
They run the option here on 1st and 10.
2 yards the gain on the keeper, and it's 2nd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Coming up to the line, and they will need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Mixing up the middle. And he is going to get this close to the 1st down marker as he's brought down at the Titans' 28.
From the gun on third down, here's Stroud. That is caught.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. So following the holding call, what can they do here on 3rd and long?
Throwing now is Stroud.
Eluding the pressure right. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
You know, on these types of plays, we're always looking to assess blame. Okay, where did it break down? Sometimes it's just a great play.
Here's Tommy Townsend now,
as he'll kick it away for the second time. And this one will not be returnable as it sails out of bounds. To throw is Ward. Throwing to start the drive.
To the right side and complete to Jefferson.
And they'll get him down up past the 15. 11 yards for number 11.
Any questions of how they'd approach this drive were answered right there. They come out throwing, and they get a nice pickup here toward the end of the first half.
They'll look to throw here on first down. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Danico Autry coming right up the gut. Gets in there for a loss of 9. So we've hit intermission. It's halftime. This is the NFL, and it's a presentation of EA Sports. And ready to get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Titans offense set to begin the drive.
It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic, no need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
2nd and 7.
Looking to throw.
Ward. A short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a first down.
For many teams, the evaluation of tight ends has really changed. We used to wonder about how they would block first and foremost. Now we want to know how these guys can run, because we envision them in offenses catch the ball. How much yardage can they gain after that?
And that on display there for a good pickup. Lock at the man in motion.
And now a fake there on the jet sweep as they'll give to Pollard.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11. He's still having trouble moving the ball on the ground.
Yeah, so much for halftime adjustments. Sometimes the best adjustment you make is no adjustment. You just do things better. But in this case, I think an adjustment was in order. They may have to change up and start throwing the ball around a little bit more.
And this will be stopped at the 44. That one good for 7 yards.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now Ward from the gun on 3rd down.
Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he will have a Titans first down. They needed 4. He doubled that. He wound up getting 8.
As an unbiased observer, I think it would have been interesting to see what they would have done if they hadn't gotten the first down there. But since they did, I guess the point is moot.
Yeah, they're right there in that middle ground, field goal range, punt, go for it. But as you said, they picked it up.
This one brought in by Jefferson.
And he's brought down in the red zone at the 18 after a gain of 18. 1st and 10. This drive, it's been a good mix. 3 passing plays, 3 runs, hitting on all 3 of those passes, and the last one putting him in the red zone.
So wouldn't you think play action right here? Because you've got the ability and had the ability to run it and throw it. Go play action and take your shot at the end zone.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. And he will find Ridley on the left side. So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and it's second down. Back to throw again. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19. Danico Autry picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
On third down, he'll drop to throw. And that is incomplete.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow him to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let him get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. Sly able to put this one through. And with that, they take the lead here, 20-17. Well, they don't get a touchdown here on the opening drive of the 3rd quarter, but I think maybe you still say mission accomplished as they come away with the lead.
No, absolutely. You keep the pressure on, right? You go downfield, get some points up on the board, and hope that you've motivated your defense to take the field and hold that lead.
And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And they find themselves down on the scoreboard following the field goal a moment ago.
And I think even though they trail in the game now, I would consider that a win for their defense, and that's probably what they're telling the offense when they get to the bench. Hey, the onus is on you guys now. Get back out there and get us the lead back. I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. Back to the ground. This time it's Chubb. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. 16 yards on that one, and also a Texan first down.
Not too shabby for his first carry of the game. That's exactly what most teams are looking for, a really good change of pace back.
Stroud to throw it. Got this into the hands of the tight end, Jordan.
And he's brought down. 10 more there and another first down.
Well, coaches always talk about finding balance on offense. I don't think you can get much more balance than this. Big-time run, big-time pass.
A 1-2 combination. Looked pretty good.
How about that? Let's see if they can continue to take that kind of a punch, though.
It's Mixon on the counter. And he's going to get stopped up quickly. Give him a yard down to the 43.
That was a really nice play, be able to stack that one up. When they get back in the huddle, he's got to tell his guys up front, great job. They kept people off of him, allowed him to run free and make the hit on the runner.
Filled the gap nicely, kept him to just a 1-yard gain.
Stroud looking to throw.
They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. A pickup of 11 and a Texans first down.
Well, they've certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
Here's Stroud.
He's got Higgins over the middle. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll bring up second down.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud.
Over the middle, complete. It's Schultz. These two have hooked up 9 times now this afternoon as they pick up the first.
I got a kick out of that one, partner. You and I talk often about trying to hide receivers in certain situations, but a guy of his size can't really hide him. But the tight end drag route, definitely an effective way to sneak him across the formation for an easy completion and a first down.
Inside handoff to Mixon, and he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
That run wasn't a big breaker, but I don't think the guys on offense mind very much. They've got a nice drive going, and they might just be luring the defense in a little bit. They could probably come back with a play action, maybe go over the top. But right now, on this drive, their playbook is open.
Back to Mixon on second down.
And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Well, that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short gain.
Stroud working out of the gun.
Touchdown! Christian Kirk, his second touchdown of the afternoon.
And the Texans have taken the lead here in this third quarter. So a very strong first drive in this second half, Charles, as they've turned that halftime deficit into a third quarter lead.
And they were pretty purposeful there, weren't they? Measured in their approach. But, boy, they executed awfully well moving the ball down the field.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that will make this a 4-point game. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. Well, now how about this return?
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you've met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Okakwo holds it in left side. That one a first down pickup of 8.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Back to throw. Moore.
And that one drops down, incomplete. Good coverage there, forced the ball free, and it's second down.
He already came through for them on this drive. No surprise that they were hoping he could do it again.
Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10.
Operating from the gun.
Moore. A short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a third down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
So third down now. They need the 27-yard line for a first. Again, he'll drop to throw.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Partner, for once in my life, I'll be succinct. In a one-possession game, every single stop like that could be a difference maker.
Field goal unit and Joey Sly now.
From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt.
Sly able to put this one through.
And that'll bring him back within a point.
So the response to that touchdown on the other side to begin the third quarter. Look, just 3 points, but still a response nonetheless.
You're exactly right about that, because I think you needed to answer back with something, even though it's not 6. Just enough to send the message that says, hey, we're not going away.
Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
That's going to be brought in by Higgins. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50.
So the big gain, all for naught for the offense. That yellow flag is going to bring it back.
Oh, what a tough look for the offense, because they see all that yardage lost and that ball's walked back and then some behind the original line of scrimmage.
So they'll get a little extra time to come up with his third down play as we've played 3 quarters.
You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Back now in Houston. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the 4th quarter of play.
Stroud.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete.
Down the right sideline.
Touchdown, Houston. Christian Kirk, 69 yards.
And the Texans use the big play to extend their 4th quarter lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that, truly leading his team right now towards victory.
3 touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive.
There's still plenty of time here in the 4th quarter. Just a 1-possession game, down 8. They'll be looking for the touchdown and 2-point conversion. A field goal here on this drive does very little at this stage.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain, considering the blitz that they just had against them.
From the 35, back to work on 2nd and 4.
Looking to throw.
Moore got his man, Okonkwo.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
And that's a much-needed first down right there. Look, they're down by 8. So logic says they don't have to get a touchdown out of this drive. But the way things are going, I don't know if I'm not getting the ball back at all. So if a 4th down situation, going for it right here and right now.
And he goes across midfield and down into Houston.
In to make the stop.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
2nd and 5. Throwing, completing, quick to Calvin Ridley.
And he's going to be taken down with another first down as the stop's made at the Texans' 36. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they've put into their passing game, because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down.
Have to give some credit to the defender on that when he read all of his keys perfectly and got a great break on the ball and able to force that incompletion.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw.
Moore. And this throw incomplete. Well, the defender all over him that time, but it's going to lead to 3rd down.
That sure looked like a nice call by the defense, and they're very cohesive in their coverage. As soon as he cut inside, they broke on the football and met him as the ball got there and forced the incompletion.
The Titans on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. And he will find Ridley. That's complete. And he'll be stopped short of the first down as they rally to tackle him at about the 28. That'll give him 8 that time, and it'll be 4th down.
I thought they might take a shot down the field, but instead they ran a little drag route there. I think they were hoping he could catch it and run away from the defender, but a really good job keeping the play in front of them, and they force a 4th down.
They'll run forward with Pollard and try to push his way forward, but I think he's going to be short, and he is short.
And Stroud now to throw. This one caught downfield by Higgins. Down to the 10.
Touchdown, Houston. A great play there. 73 yards.
And the Texans have opened up a 2-touchdown lead here in this 4th quarter. Boy, he has been fun to watch throwing the football in this one. It's certainly not fun for that defense, though, Charles. Now up to 4 touchdown passes in this ball game.
Yeah, we're supposed to be neutral, but I'm feeling their pain right now because he has absolutely carved up this secondary. A clinic on how to attack a defense and take them out of the game.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go.
They've got some stuff to build on from that last drive because they moved the football, CD, and then they tried to go for it on 4th down, didn't convert, probably left a bitter taste in their mouths.
I would say so, and I think that they go out in this series determined for that not to happen again. In fact, they don't even want to get to a 4th down opportunity. They just want to make sure they get it done within the parameters that they've set for themselves. Run their offense, get it into the end zone. Yeah, I think a little bit of determination and a dash of anger.
So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. 4th quarter, every drive's so critical, and you figure may only get one more shot after this, so a touchdown's imperative on this drive.
It is, but you also have to think to yourself in play calling, don't hold anything back. Don't save it for the 2nd touchdown. You got the first one for the 2nd one to even matter.
A short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. A big play that time for the Titans. 43 yards.
And here's a spot where this offense says, we got to start making something happen. We're down 2 scores. It's the 4th quarter. We've got to start moving with some urgency. And here's a big play that gives them a ray of hope that they can get back in this one.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. So that one a disaster, a big loss there with 2nd down coming up.
Well, plays like that, Charles, no doubt, they're just going to continue to fuel this crowd.
And this defense is already playing well, but it also feeds on the energy of that crowd that you're talking about, and that takes them up to another level. Right now, they're playing really loose. They've got the lead, and what a nice stop they just made there behind the line of scrimmage.
And he's out of bounds, almost gets to the 10. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards.
Good yardage on the completion there, and when they look at the scoreboard, they do understand a field goal is not going to do them any good. My guess, they're going to press the ball downfield as far as possible, try and throw it into the end zone and get a score because they know they've got to get that done and get the ball back as quickly as possible.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
No sense risking anything there on 1st down. Even though he's still in the pocket, he had a receiver out to his side, so just put that in a spot where the only people who could make a play on it are the trainers and the coaches. Well done.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Looking to throw. Moore. Now the pressure gets there, and he goes down just inside the 20 at the 19.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
And another long drive from the offense, but the defense is denying them the end zone. Nothing to show for the last drive offensively. They can't come away empty-handed again.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down.
Pass taken in by his big tight end.
And it's a Titans touchdown.
Chigakonkwo
From 19 yards away.
And the Titans get a bit closer. So this is now a 9-point difference. You figure the book here says kick the extra point, make it a 1-score game.
Now, you and I have seen coaches get overly aggressive in this spot, but I agree with you. Kick it here and get back within a score.
The extra point by Sly is up and good.
As this gets them back within a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
Joey Sly now to kick off after the touchdown. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Their lead back down to 1 score after the touchdown a moment ago. First down's a must on this drive as they start out here 1st and 10. Cody Barton there to bring him down.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that 1st down carry.
Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. This pass complete to Higgins. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down.
Charles, he's now over 400 yards passing in this one. It feels like he has a zillion completions. Just a very memorable effort from a guy that we thought could be in line for a big game, and he has exceeded our expectations.
That he has, and I'm not really surprised at all because when you look at this offensive unit, they are loaded across the board. And, of course, the guy throwing them, he's a big-time player himself. They brought it from start to finish and really helped get the better of the opposing secondary. Nothing open downfield, and he had to get that one out in a hurry because he just knew he was about to take a big shot. Probably couldn't get his legs into the throw. Became an all-arm throw trying to check it down to his running back. Incomplete.
Now Stroud.
And he will slide to a stop. He does have the 1st down. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the 1st, getting 14 yards on the scramble. Well, there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the 1st.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
He won't find a ton of space following the display of power as he's down just inside the 45. Only able to gain a couple there, and it's 2nd down. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This is 3rd and 8.
Throwing now is Stroud.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Draymond Jones able to drop him for a loss of 2, and that will bring up 4th down. And no matter what the situation, the O-line just hates that because they feel like they didn't protect little brother back there, right?
Man, that's just so difficult for them because just think about every single play. When you decide to throw the football, you're dealing with some of the best athletes on the planet. You talk about guys, if they weren't playing football, they'd be starring in the NBA at power forward. It's a really difficult task.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive.
And it feels like the momentum has shifted. They scored, then their defense forces that last punt. And now a chance to tie the game on this possession.
Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And give him a lot of credit there, but even more credit to the guys up front. In that situation, you know it's going to be a stacked defensive front. And to be able to gain that much yardage, that's a big win for the guys on offense.
Yeah, they were just about standing on their own goal line, so to get a few yards there, a great start. Now we'll see what 2nd down brings.
Throw out wide is incomplete.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And he is going to get the 1st down, it looks like, as he's up to the 12.
40 yards rushing for him now as he's carried it 13 times.
Most of their damage has been done through the air. I mean, they've rung the bell 3 times with passing touchdowns, but guess what? Ground game has not been neglected. Nice little burst right there.
So a little more space to operate now. 1st and 10 from right around the 12. Operating from the gun. Ward. This one caught by Ridley. And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. 1st down, Titans, gain of 12.
With that last completion, CD's now over 400 yards passing in the game, and quite a few of those have come via some pretty big strikes downfield. Certainly not afraid to challenge this secondary, and it's been successful.
I like your observation there, partner, because I agree. This is a group more than capable of torching a secondary any week, as evidenced by their combined stat line here. And in the time we have remaining, wouldn't shock me at all to see them take another deep shot.
Here's Ward, operating from the gun.
He'll complete this one to Okonkwo.
Short gain last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely, this defense, they're saying go right ahead with those.
Plenty of time. All 3 timeouts still remain. Here's 1st and 10 now. A short throw taken in by Okonkwo.
And this winds up a pickup of 2, maybe 2.5 to about the 39.
Bottom line, 2-yard gains just not going to cut it in this situation. You've got to move the ball downfield in order to have a chance.
Defense will give them that the rest of the way.
2nd down, 8 yards to go.
And that is caught. It's Ridley. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining.
Here's 1st down.
He'll look to throw.
Complete. Jefferson the target.
It drives some people crazy to see those short throws underneath. They've got to find a way to gash the defense downfield.
.45 ticks remain as they come up on a 2nd down.
He's back to throw.
And that falls to the ground, incomplete. A nice job of bodying him up defensively, and now it brings up 3rd down.
Now we're in the situation where the quarterback's got to take full charge of his huddle. Got to totally command it, make sure all eyes are on him. All focus is locked in. Going to call multiple plays and go over different situations and scenarios to make sure everyone is on the same page.
This complete to Lockett. And it's not going to be enough here. A gain of 4, about 2 feet short of the marker, 4th down. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
The decision made for them. They've got to go. It's 4th down.
And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. And with inside of 10 seconds, 8 to be precise, we get whistles and a timeout on the field. Down to a knee here as the Texans look to let the clock roll. And whistles, and they take their final timeout with 7 seconds left.
To a knee goes Stroud, and that is going to be all she wrote. Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
And, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaudin. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. It's a win for the Texans as we say so long from Houston.